just as a quick introduction. We're going to talk about our website. We're going to talk about our carriers. Excuse me. We're going to talk about some term carriers and products. We're going to talk about underwriting. We're going to get into a case study that I think is really prominent to the WFG business model. So first and foremost, who is Crump? Well, Crump Life Insurance Services is your strategic partner and prominent wholesale distributor of life insurance, long-term care, and disability products, all through one single portal. One phone call, one website gets you access to all of the information I'm going to talk about today. It also gets you in contact with my teams to help you with illustrations, with processing business, with carrier appointments, with commissions, with detailed product questions as well. So my teams are in place to be your back office support. So imagine if you had to go out and hire a team to do what I just went through. My teams are here to do that at no charge to you. So it's a plus all the way around. And how do you do that? Through your dedicated toll-free number of 888-232-4872, or if you're looking for illustrations for life insurance, TFN Life Illustrations at crump.com. So I'll pause there for a minute and we can take a screenshot, take a picture if you don't have that information. More importantly, I'm going to show you how to get to the website, and it's also located on the Crump WFG website. So how do you get to the WFG website? Well, it's very simple. mywfg.com, menu, recruiting and selling, product providers, and then sales resources. And then you're going to get to a tab that says Crump. And when you get to this screen, you are active and set up in the Crump database. Once you are active and set up in the Crump database, you have access to all of the endorsed portfolio that WFG and Crump have for you as an agent. You don't need to be appointed with anybody to receive information. If I could get everyone to pause or mute your lines, please. Thank you. So once you get here, so as you grow your team and you recruit new agents, and when you tell them to go out to the Crump website, once they get logged onto this site, they are active in our system. We actually get a direct feed from WFG on a daily basis that activates and inactivates agents. So if you have an agent on your team, or if yourself get into a situation where your file, you are inactive in the Crump database, it's something tied into WFG. It could be a license that expired, changing a phone number, an address. Those are the three most popular bits of information. But the Crump website, as I mentioned, it's new. We actually updated this back in April. And so since April, we've heard a lot of great reviews about how agents like to navigate this new site. And it's easier to work with, so they're pretty happy with it. But it also talks about how you can get into the product lines a lot faster and a lot easier. So you see the red box, and I want to go above the red box. And so these are all areas that you're going to get onto probably more than you will the rest of the website. And they're outlined with what's called the Solution Center. So you got life insurance, long-term care, disability. You have an advanced sales tab. You've got an underwriting tab and what's called our Transaction Center. The Transaction Center is where you're going to log on to submit your applications through the e-portal or the electronic fillable application portal. Now, I know many of you on the call may enjoy filling out paper applications, but if you like doing it the easier way, the electronic version, here's how you can do that. So once it's completed, you just hit submit and it comes right into the Crump team. So below that, you see the red box. And so I want to move to the next screen because this identifies how it looks now. You'll see there are 12 boxes there, okay? And these all have been customized for you, the WFG agent, as to what we feel is most important for you. From resources to requests to how to quote very quickly. A lot of quote gives you the ability to go out there and run term comparisons. Self-serve illustrations is how you can run your own IUL illustrations. Underwriting questionnaires, right below that. Underwriting questionnaires allows you to go out to the Crump website. Right here it is. Oh, excuse me. Laser pointer. Oh. You go right here to the underwriting questionnaires. You'll probably use that link more than any other link inside the Crump website besides the Transaction Center. The underwriting questionnaires is here to help you when you have a client whose health concerns or health conditions is a little bit different than what you thought. Maybe they have diabetes, maybe they have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, they've got cancer. So here's a way that you can go out there and you can do questionnaires to gather all the information you're looking for. Get contracted. So here's how you can get contracted with the Crump carriers. Foreign national business. Here's how you can log on and get a foreign national fact finder for any clients who you deal with who have foreign national ties. Upload documents. Here's how you can upload all of your paperwork, including the questionnaires, into the Crump team without needing to email or fax them back into us. You just do it right through this system right here. Then, of course, to the right, the red box, view all quick links. The 9 dots there gets you into the entire Crump system where you can scroll through or you can type in a search and look for exactly what it is you're looking for. The Crump Transaction Center. I keep talking about this because this is where you're probably going to utilize and submit most of your business. The red box here also identifies carrier and appointment. Okay, so you can log on to get appointed. Now, what's important to remember is Crump partnered with Assurance Bay LLC last year. Hello? So, yeah, Crump partnered with Assurance Bay LLC last year. So many of you on the call are already using that with other providers. And so once your information is entered with one provider, it carries over to all providers. So you'll use the same ID and password through the Crump system that you have with any other product provider that you're working with, and that way it helps you with a one-time setup of your information versus needing to keep IDs and passwords for multiple provider websites. So let's start first with our approved carrier list.
Brian, 1 second. Bong, can you please mute? Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. So this is your approved carrier list. There's actually a few more carriers in this, but these are the carriers that we have learned write the majority of the business through Crump. So you have carriers here for term, permanent business, UL, IU.
Both?
Share. Please mute Sherry. I'm sorry, Brian.
No problem. So that for UL, IUL, second to die UL, and second to die indexed UL contracts. We also have VUL contracts, and we'll get to those in a few minutes. But you see, every one of these companies listed here are A-rated or higher. They must be based on the WFG E&O mandate. So you've got the ability to work through this. So there's a couple companies that you said you wanted to talk about more in detail. So we'll focus first on John Hancock. John Hancock's got a pretty robust portfolio of both term and permanent contracts. They've got protection-based IUL. They've got accumulation-based IUL. And they also have a protection-based UL contract, which is based on life expectancy. It's a very competitive, low-cost product that's not designed to build a lot of cash value. But if you have somebody that says, listen, I don't need income, I've got a pension, I've got a 401k, I've got a very robust investment portfolio, I just need life insurance protection. The John Hancock has a product that's designed to do that, and you can include their LTC rider and or their chronic illness rider. So it's one of the few companies in the marketplace that offers both long-term care, chronic illness, and critical illness. Most don't offer that wide range of options. They've got a very robust term portfolio as well. So Prudential. We'll get into Prudential more as we go through the call because Prudential contracts are really good when it comes to underwriting. We do a lot of business with Prudential. We have just recently helped some agents in other parts of the country write, contracts in excess of $10, $15 million with Prudential. So they did it very quickly. Yes. Okay. So Prudential is one of those companies who's very aggressive with their underwriting as well. So let's talk about riders and living benefits. So here is your list of the companies I just mentioned that offer living benefit riders. So let's walk down through this. So first and foremost, Allianz. And I want to take a minute and pause with Allianz. because now through the remainder of the year, Allianz has an automatic underwriting upgrade program. So as long as your clients are standard health, Allianz will bump them to preferred best. So I'll repeat that. So Allianz, with their underwriting upgrade program, as long as your clients are standard health, they will bump them up to preferred best rating class. So Allianz offers chronic illness and terminal illness. Allianz also only has one product. So they do very well with their one product. It's an accumulation-based product that does very well with income distribution. American General, both term and permanent contracts. On their permanent contract, they offer chronic illness and terminal illness. John Hancock, as I mentioned, LTC rider and critical and chronic illness riders. Life of Southwest offers chronic, critical, and terminal illness on all of their entire portfolio. North American, there in Las Vegas, also has chronic, critical, and terminal illness on their entire portfolio, both term and permanent. And what's nice about the North American product is if you do a term contract with all three of the riders, your client wants to convert that to one of the North American permanent contracts in 3, 5, 7, 10 years, whatever it might be, you have the ability to convert all of those riders to the permanent contract as well. So it's a way that you can lock in coverage now with the expectation of providing lifetime coverage down the road and help them meet that financial goal. Prudential, chronic illness and terminal illness on their permanent contracts. United of Omaha, they have a chronic illness rider that's automatically included. So as you know, most carriers say if you're rated higher than a table 4, the chronic illness rider or LTC rider could be excluded. So United of Omaha has it no matter what the rating class is. And they also offer an LTC rider. And I always say outside of California because I know that there may be some people on the call who are tied into California, even though that the office is there in Las Vegas. So United of Omaha outside of California offers an LTC rider. So with this carrier, say that you write a United of Omaha contract, apply for the LTC rider, they get approved for the life case but decline for the LTC rider, they're still going to have the chronic illness rider. So it's a win-win. So no matter what happens there, your client's going to get some sort of living benefit coverage. As I mentioned earlier, you're approved VUL carriers. And as long as you're TFA designated, you can write John Hancock or Prudential through Crump. And you must follow the TFA rules for submission, which means it has to go to TFA for suitability review. And then after the suitability review, then it comes to Crump for processing. We do advance commission on all fixed life carriers. And again, it's all fixed life carriers. The key thing here, key piece to this is the application must be in good order. And there must be some form of payment, so a TIA that's included with this. So the Transaction Center helps you with the in good order part, and then you can also submit the payment information as well. So, again, the Transaction Center is going to help you with IGO versus the NIGO. So if it's NIGO and you don't receive the 4060, if you place the case with Crump, you'll still receive 100% of the commission upon placement. So you're either going to get 4060 or 0100. Either way, Crump is going to advance all the commission for you in any upline override. Recently, Crump moved to a new term model. So you're going to hear us talk about Crump focused term carriers. So even though we have more term carriers than this, these are the 3 that, based on processing, based on pricing, based on relationship, have processed the term business faster. So as a result, we're focusing on these 3 carriers. If you or your team sells the other term products outside of these 3, there will be a greater reduction in compensation. And so it's all tied into the amount of time it takes to process term. So just keep that in mind. So these 3 will still pay full commission. The other carriers will pay a reduction in term commission. So let's get into American General first. So American General, first of all, offers a 35-year term for those individuals up to age 45 for non-tobacco or 45 for tobacco. So if you've got a 40-year-old looking for term coverage, you can write a 35-year-old term on a 40-year-old to protect them until they're 75 years of age. AIG, their new name is now called Corebridge. So they also offer what's called a select a term model. So if you work with clients who are worried about covering their mortgage, you can dial in a specific duration to help them cover their mortgage. So say someone got a 19 or an 18-year mortgage. Most carriers are either going to offer you a 15 or a 20-year term. Here's a way that you can specifically dial in the protection amount to match the mortgage. So, and they'll have this from 15 all the way up to 30 years. So you can dial any duration between 15 and 30. Your client's got a 23-year remaining mortgage, covered. 27 years, covered. So whatever it is that you're looking for, you can be very specific on the price and the duration. Essentially, for anybody who's been in the market for a prolonged time, you've heard the term decreasing term. Well, decreasing term was essentially a mortgage protection contract. Here's a way that you can lock in coverage for that specific mortgage protection.
That's the issues on the right.
Banner. Banner also has two long-term term durations. They do a 35 and they also do a 40. And there's the ages. So it's 20 to 50 for the 35-year-old or 20 to 45 for the 40-year-old. So here's a way that you can lock in, up to 80 years of age or 85, depending upon how old they are. And effective August 1st, they want that all applications must be submitted using their e-application process or the e-application through Crump, as they no longer accept paper applications. Banner focuses on term. They have some permanent contracts, but their focus is term. And where they really excel is not just at your regular term business, but if you've got someone who's a tobacco user and looking for term, they've got some extremely competitive tobacco rates as well. So keep that in mind. North American. Many of you on the call may have written North American annuity products in the past. They also have a very robust portfolio for life insurance. They offer multiple IULs and ULs that carry the chronic, critical, and terminal illness, as does their term contracts. So their term contracts also offer chronic, critical, and terminal illness. The chronic illness is available for any of your clients rated up to a Table 4 or Table D. The critical illness is available for anybody written up to a Table 2 or Table B rating, and that also ties in with their permanent portfolio. So a lot of positive carrier information there. But what about your clients who are insurance uninsurable? And I say insurance uninsurable because based on regular doctors, they could still be healthy. We've got Gerber guarantee issue. And with the guarantee issue contract, there is no underwriting, no APS, no medical, no doctor's information required. Here's a way that you can pull out your application, take a paper application for the first time you submit Gerber. It's a simple 4-page application. There's no underwriting, there's no muss, there's no fuss. You submit it, it gets processed, and the commission gets paid to WFG. The reason I say their first application with them has to be a paper, because the paper application ties in with a carrier appointment to help you get appointed with the carrier. Going forward, all future business can be done via the e-application process. And here's how it works. It's very simple. So we'll just look at a female age 57. And so you got a female age 57 looking for the maximum coverage of $25,000. You simply go across the line and say, ma'am, it's going to cost you $117 a month for the rest of your life. This is a whole life contract. So the 117, even though it's $25,000, could eventually grow to even more than $25,000 over the years. It's not a whole life contract that's designed for cash distribution. It's a whole life contract to help keep the cost of coverage at a minimum. And again, there's no underwriting, there's no hassle, there's no APS. The only other caveat to this contract is that your client must survive for 2 years for the family to receive the whole benefit. If they pass away within the first 2 years, depending upon when it is, you as an agent will receive a chargeback. And number two, your clients will receive the premiums paid plus 10%. So just kind of keep that in mind. All right, so as I mentioned, when you go to submit Gerber via the e-application, if you haven't submitted or if you're not appointed, it's going to push you back to the paper application. But once you're written Gerber cases, you can go out to the Crump Transaction Center, click on Gerber, click on e-application, click on the state completed something, and we're hearing about the cases being processed in about 3 to 5 total days. So it's actually extremely quick, if not faster than that. So here's a way that you can get some business turnaround very quickly for month-end promotions, for year-end promotions, or more importantly, for help you qualify for Hawaii. All right, so let's get into a case study. So this is a case that I worked on very closely with an agent in the California area. So the client was looking for an IUL with living benefits. So we had a 62-year-old female with some health concerns, and she was looking for a $150,000 face amount. So based on that information, we quoted our carrier at a 10 of the table 4, and the table 4 on the IUL, we were able to get chronic, critical, and terminal illness at a cost of $4,242 a year. Once the application was submitted and the carrier did their underwriting process, there were some additional health concerns that were uncovered. So carrier A, who we originally quoted, went from a table 4 to a table 6. And as a result, the cost went up to $6,530, but more importantly, no living benefits were available. The agent confirmed that the client's main concern was they wanted living benefits. So because the case was in Crump, my underwriters were able to take a look at all the underwriting records and look at some of the carriers who we thought might be able to work with this situation. So we had 2 carriers. Carrier B was potentially able to get to table 4. We said, well, they might be able to get there. If we can get to table 4, they can do chronic illness at $6,468 a year. They said, or we look at carrier C, it's going to be a table 6, and we can still include chronic illness rider at $4,584. So we ended up going with carrier C. And as a result, we were able to include the chronic illness rider. So the original offer was table 4, $4,242. Carrier A came in at table 6, almost $2,000 more with no LB. Carrier C was United of Omaha. As I mentioned earlier, the chronic illness rider was automatically included. So we were able to get a table 6 rating class at $4,584, or basically about $30 a month more than they originally quoted. But the key piece here was we were able to get living benefits and a chronic illness rider. So with that, I'm going to pause. I've thrown a lot of information at you. We talked about some carriers, some underwriting. See if we have any questions for the group.
Anybody?
Any questions? Excuse me, Galaxy S9, please mute. Thank you. No questions, guys?
Ray, was there anything specific to any carriers that I talked about that you'd like to hear more about?
So the Prudential, because of course now submitting it, I think we have a couple of prospects that we're going to be submitting through Prudential. So can you walk us through as far as, hey, this is how we're going to, first steps, this is what you're going to do. In fact, Jiki, one of our clients together, we're going to be submitting something through Prudential. So if you could kind of walk us through, hey, this is the first thing that we need to do, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So what you're going to do is after you have the quote, you've met with the client, you're going to come out here to where it's called the Transaction Center. So you're going to open this, you're going to click on that tab. So when you click on that tab, it then opens up the Transaction Center for the Crump carriers and Prudential. So you're just going to scroll down till you see Prudential. Then you're just going to choose the application that's tied into the product that you're looking for. So it'll say you're writing the Prudential product A. So it'll say this is the product that you're going to write. You just click on that, and it's all fillable. And so as you're filling out the application, it's a red light, green light process. And so what I mean by that is when you get to the end, if you haven't completed the application in its entirety, it's not going to allow you to submit it. It's going to say you're missing some key pieces, and it's going to show you what's missing. Then you can go back and fill in those pieces of information. So then all you're going to do once you complete the application is you're going to hit submit. And it's going to come right into the Crump team. We're going to take that application. We're going to set it up in our system. We're going to start processing it while we send it to Prudential. Then our team is going to communicate with Prudential. Prudential's going to communicate with us, and we're going to communicate with you where we are in the process, what's outstanding, what's needed, what's not needed, and then help you move this along through the process. So now, take a step back. If you're not
can we mute Galaxy 9?
Galaxy S9.
Yeah. Open.
Oh, there you go. Thank you.
Thank you. So as one of the, so with Prudential, you'll need to become appointed with them when you're ready to write the business. So before you take the application, you can actually go out to the Crump website, go out to the carrier appointment link, and complete the Prudential carrier appointment information. This will then help you become appointed. Once they receive the application, they'll release that. There'll be a potential hold on there. Once you submit the paper application or the e-application process, they will match up the contract with the application, and they will process the two simultaneously. So that is the process in a nutshell. So, and again, once you log on to that, it'll be carrier and then product information, and just choose that and then go through the process.
And also for illustration purposes, so how easy is it to use, like instead of emailing or calling, is there a way for us to also play around with the illustrations?
Yep, there's a link here called self-serve illustrations. And so anybody can log on to that and utilize this link to run your own carrier illustrations. And it can be any carrier that Crump works with. The caveat to this is because the system is so expensive to utilize, we give you access to it for free, and we don't charge you anything to utilize the system. Our only ask is that you place business with Crump. So once you log on to that self-serve illustration icon, it gives you 6 months to place business with Crump. If during that 6 months you don't place any business, they're going to inactivate or deactivate that software illustration system. So for every piece of business that you place through Crump, it extends that process up to a whole year. So you can have business where you're banked in there for a whole year. So then it's a rolling 12 months. So as you're submitting and placing business with inside of Crump, it can be Gerber cases, it can be term cases, it can be permanent cases, it can be LTC, it can be DI. So as long as you're placing business with Crump, you have access to run illustrations through self-serve illustration at any time. And as I mentioned earlier, you can always call my team or email, but if you like doing your own illustrations, and as long as you're going to place business, then the self-serve illustration is for you.
Because this is just in certain situations, like on the weekend. Can we also email the group? Do we get response? Like how
you won't get a response on the weekend. Unfortunately, Crump only works 5 days a week. I know WFG works 7. So if you want to do your own illustrations. Now, what's nice about this is right next to that self-serve illustration tab, it's called Vital Quote. So the Vital Quote actually allows you to run all the term numbers at one time as well. So you can go out there and type in your client's information, and there's no duration, no time frame, no expectation for that. So you can do term quotes off this at any time. And so what's neat about that is you go out there and you type in the information, it's going to give you a spreadsheet of all the Crump carriers and pricing. So you're going to see all the carriers that you have available through Crump on one document.
Great. And also another thing, Brian, is that one of the things that I do really like about you guys is that I have a situation that the client's already claiming disability from their existing policy, or I forgot which one that would. But anyway, so we submitted through the underwriting questionnaire. We filled out the form, sent it to your staff, your group for underwriting, and they're pretty quick as far as getting us guidance. So can you maybe share your thoughts and how our team, everybody can kind of grow their business as well, because for certain situations, they're declined, but hey, use that questionnaire, send it to us.
Correct. So let's focus on the decline. So first and foremost, if you get a decline through one of your other direct providers, get as much detail as possible. Why was the case declined? Call my team and say, listen, we had a case that was declined with, we'll say, Nationwide. They were declined for this reason. Chances are, if they're declined with Nationwide, they may be a decline through Crump as well. And the reason I say let our team know that it was declined, we don't want to create a false expectation for you or for your client. So I teach my team to say, listen, if we can't get to a situation, let's try and see what we can come up with. No, let's just say no. We don't want to waste anyone's time, because there are certain medical ailments that are just going to be declined across the board. And I'll use diabetes as an example. So say you're talking to somebody and they're diabetic and they don't really give you all the information because they think if they don't tell you everything that no one's going to find out about it. So they go through the underwriting process and you learn that their A1C score, as everyone knows, that's the marker that determines under control for diabetics, that their A1C score is 8.9. Most carriers are going to decline that. Most of the Crump carriers are also going to decline that. So there's a situation where if you call my team and say, listen, we've got a diabetic with an 8.9, now they may say, listen, we'll get you the underwriting questionnaire, complete that, get it back into my underwriters, and then they can say, yeah, we're going to be a decline as well. But what I don't want you to do, and this happens through other offices, I got a decline through Nationwide. So I'm going to call the Crump team because I don't believe it should have been a decline, and I'm going to have the Crump team run new illustrations for my prospect at preferred non-tobacco, and then submit an application on this client at preferred non-tobacco when they were just declined through Nationwide. We're not going to go from a decline to a preferred. And I know right now you're looking at me saying, what, people do what? But yeah, trust me, I have seen multiple agents do that to our team. And it's just like, why would you do that? Because a decline at Nationwide is never going to be a preferred with somebody else. It may move up a table or two, but it's always going to be potentially a decline as well. But if you're not sure, you're talking to a client, they're not quite sure what the health conditions are, grab an underwriting questionnaire. When you go out there, I think there's like 40 or 50 different underwriting questionnaires to help gather information. I've been doing this for over 25 years, and I actually started as an agent. And so I can remember as an agent, besides making a phone call, setting the appointment, meeting with the client, doing field underwriting was probably the top difficult part of being a life insurance agent. Getting that client who doesn't really seem comfortable, get comfortable to tell you exactly what health conditions they have or the severity of what they have, because the more information you can get on the front end through your field underwriting process, the better you have the chance of placing business with any carrier that you utilize, not just Crump, any company.
Thanks, Brian. Anything else we could, any questions?
Ray, I will throw this out as well before there's any other questions.
Yeah.
If there's a carrier that you want to learn more about, North American, I mentioned, Allianz, Prudential, John Hancock, if you want to learn more about that product, I can set up a dedicated training with the carrier to go over their product, their portfolio, their underwriting processes, to help you understand their product more.
Yes, that would be awesome. Yeah, yesterday I think we had somebody from a Nexus
Yes.
give us some training. So yeah, that would really help us. So in order for us to kind of widen our product knowledge and at the same time options for clients.
All right, then you and I can talk offline as to what carrier you want to focus on, or if there's three, we can set them up back to back to back for you, and so that way we can allow the carrier ample time to go through their portfolio and talk about who they are and how they can help you. So let's go. So thank you. There's my contact information. And so once you log on to the Crump website, you'll see all my information out there as well. But there's my email, there's my direct dial. So you can keep that on hand. Or you can just call my sales team. But just remember, Crump can help you with your $100,000 case or your $100 million cases. So we can help you with anything in between.
That's awesome. In fact, right now too, our CEO, EDC, Don, he just logged in. So, do you want to say something, Don?
Oh, definitely. First of all, Brian, thanks a lot for training. This is actually helpful for the team to understand because we have a lot of new licensed people, and we want them to understand that we also do products outside the WFG and outside AMS. And our favorite product, one of them is the One America, because that one gives the long-term care lifetime unlimited benefit compared to what we're carrying.
Yep.
So that's a biggie. And another one popular for the team is the Gerber product, which I don't care. I always confident for my clients that I don't care what you have, we will approve you, because that's one of our guaranteed issue policy.
That's correct.
That's why I wanted to the team, and thanks for Ray and Ging for setting this up. And looking forward for more specific product training. We'll just get the pulse from the team what they wanted to actually learn more. But basically those two.
Yep. With regard to One America, do you want me to connect Ray you with my LTC specialist because they can set up a dedicated One America training for you as well?
Yes.
Just a feedback. You know what? I was talking to I think it was Susan.
Yes.
Yeah, she's supposed to come to our one of our actually Super Saturday, our mid-year event.
Oh, good.
For that, no, but she canceled last minute. I was like, oh man.
Oh.
I know. But like I said, I mean, things happen. So we were supposed to be trained about that One America last June, but if we can reschedule that, that'll be amazing.
Well, I'm happy to get that for you. We actually have resources right there in the Las Vegas area, so we can have one of the One America reps come right to your office.
Okay, I spoke to one in San Diego that covers Las Vegas. It's just that he doesn't work weekend, only weekdays. But Zoom is good.
I'll see if I can't twist his arm a little bit. How's that sound?
There we go. Hey, Brian, thanks a lot.
I've been doing this a long time. My wife, my family's just used to me working weekends and nights anymore, so they just know it's part of my job.
All right, there you go. Thank you. Appreciate that.
No problem.
How about the other teammates? Any other specific questions with Crump? I know Crump is less heard unless you are with a Ging or Ray or clients get declined, but they can be first options too.
Yeah, and I think that's the big confusion is sometimes, and I understand that, some of your directs you may have a better understanding of, but I can tell you that if we do detailed carrier product training for 2 or 3 companies. I don't want to do them all. I just want to pick out 2 or 3 that's going to fit into your team's business model. I think once you see the competitive nature of the products, once you understand the product, once you see how to submit the applications, you'll turn to those products as you would your directs. And as I know from experience working with other agents, both the Allianz contract and the North American contracts the compensation is actually very strong as well.
Okay. Good.
Brian, good morning.
Good morning.
I just have a question. Can we have a copy of your presentation, please?
Unfortunately, I don't like giving this out. I can get you bits and pieces only because it's fallen into hands for compliance reasons, into non-agent hands. And so, unfortunately, I can get you pieces of information that you're looking for, but I can't give you my whole slide, unfortunately. I apologize for that, but it's about compliance reasons.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Sorry, I wish I could. I'm sorry about that, but
Good morning, Brian. I just have a question. Could you talk more about Gerber, specifically New York market? Because I do have an agent that is based in New York, and has a big market for Gerber.
yeah. I got to double check and make sure Gerber's approved in New York.
Yeah.
I think it might. I just got to double check. I think it is, but I need to double check and confirm that. And I'm sorry, who am I speaking with?
Oh, Lani Bondo.
Lenny.
And Lonnie, what is your agent code? That way I can look it up and get back to you.
Oh, actually, it's the husband writing.
Oh, okay.
It's 57QRG.
QRG as in George?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll look and get back to you as quickly as I can. I think it is, but before I say yes, I just want to confirm.
All right. Sounds good. Anything else? Ging?
Yeah, I think
I think we're good. Any
Good?
Yeah.
yeah, we'll try and submit it today.
Okay. Oh, you know what, Brian? One more question. We submitted policy for Gerber. It was approved, and they deducted the first and the second premium, but they receive a letter that it's declined. I'm confused on that. Is there? How do we check? You know, with other carriers, we log into a website and we can check which one is appointed and which one is approved and all that. Is there a way to check those policies?
Yeah, so number one, my team should be communicating back to you about that, but there's also a way that you can log onto the Crump website. When you log onto the Crump website, on the homepage, there'll be a tab where you can check all your business that's in force. I'm going to go back to you right now.
Okay.
So right up here on the home screen, you're going to see a tab that's called pending cases. So all the cases that you have in the system are actually, once you click here, we'll actually give you a list of all your previous cases as well.
Okay. And then it says there if it's approved or
Correct.
enforced.
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yep. But regarding the Gerber case, if you want to email me the information on that, I will have my team double check, because it's confusing that they withdrew premiums and then sent a decline letter.
Yeah. So I was like, and the client called me, how come they're deducting if I'm declined? So
Yeah.
I don't know what to answer. That was last week.
Yeah. So
Okay.
again, here's my contact information. So just send it to me, and then I'll take a look at it.
All right. Thanks a lot, Brian.
Thank you.
Okay, that's all for me. How about you guys? Otherwise, Ray, you can close us out.
Yeah, so I guess no more questions, but we really do appreciate you, Brian. It was something that we really needed some help on getting some applications going, but at the same time, knowing other products that you can help the team grow our business. Hey, please let us know too, how you can add more value to us versus, using other carriers. So we want to thank you for your time today, and we'd love to do more of this moving forward.
Thank you. One last thing before I close. August 20. Let me double check the exact date. I got too much going on here. I always forget my own stuff. August 24th, 2 o'clock Eastern time. I think that's 11 o'clock your time. We are doing a WFG national call specific to the Crump Transaction Center. So it's a call. You'll get an email with the ability to register for the call. So again, it'll be 11 o'clock on August 24th, and my transaction center specialist, Lisa Marie Robinson, is going to walk through logging on to the site, the product information, how you run quotes there. So it's a very detailed, very informative way that it can help you submit business through Crump.
August 20.
Awesome. So yeah, thanks again, and thanks, Don.
Alrighty.
And
Thank you, buddy. Have a
Bye,
great day.
everyone.
all right.
Right.
Ayos, may pagpapasukan na tayo.
Yeah. I know. Sige. So, ano natin.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Have a good day.
You too.
Pwede ko na siguro i-submit yung without yung isa kong kliyente na marijuana user.
Yeah. Oh, you should have asked him.
I forgot. Kasi meron doon, di ba, na
Yeah.
Pero kung i-apply, siguro pwede na diretso,
So what is saying na hindi preferred, lang standard yung pinaka non-tobacco or tobacco, whatever.
Pero meron siya binibanggit yung no living benefits.
No living benefits.
Yung sa hindi ko na
Alam
kanina
ko yung sa John Hancock, I think meron. At ewan ko sa Prudential.
Sa So sa Crump muna tayo magpapasok ng account. Tapos sila na yung maglalagay kung sa
Trial up pa rin.
provider.
I-trial up na lang. I-trial up pa rin. Para
Trial up pa rin.
Yeah, i-trial up pa rin para
Kasi
para sigurado.
May tatlo nga akong pending pa hanggang ngayon na hindi ko pa kung saan ipapasok.
Yeah.
Kung ita-trial up natin lahat silang tatlo, better. Kasi mag-aapat na nga dahil puro dalawang sleep apnea na nakasipap
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Di ba pagka ganun hinahanapan kung completed na yung study nila about it, and then
Yeah.
APS.
APS. Oo. Minsan sa APS talagang kung ano lang